Jeffrey Toobin, The Run of His Life, The People v. O.J. Simpson. Welcome to the riveting world of The Run of His Life, The People v. O.J. Simpson by Jeffrey Toobin. This absorbing book takes you through the life of O.J. Simpson, his meteoric rise to fame as an exceptional football player, and his transition into the entertainment world. You'll delve into the background and racial tensions of Los Angeles and its connection to Simpson's ultimate fate. The book brilliantly captures the legal proceedings, defense strategies, and prosecution failures that led to O.J.'s acquittal despite substantial evidence against him. As you journey through the case, you'll see how America's deep-rooted racial divide continues to shape its society, and how O.J.'s desire for money and fame trumped any involvement in civil rights activism.
The Rise of O.J. Simpson. Orenthal James Simpson, famously known as O.J. Simpson, grew up in San Francisco with a troubled childhood. However, he found success and admiration through sports, specifically football. He gained celebrity status while attending USC and played professional football for the Buffalo Bills. Afterwards, he expanded his business interests off the field and became a lovable public figure. Despite the racial tensions during the 1960s, O.J. was not an activist and focused more on achieving his goals of fame and fortune. Race and celebrity in L.A. Racially charged violence and police brutality have plagued L.A. for decades. This summary explores high-profile cases involving the LAPD, including the Rodney King riots and O.J. Simpson's trial for domestic abuse, and sheds light on the role race and celebrity played in determining their outcomes. Los Angeles has a long and troubling history of racial injustice, particularly when it comes to the LAPD. In 1979, LAPD officers shot and killed Yulia Love, a black woman arguing with a utility representative about a tardy bill. This incident was just one of many examples of the LAPD's tendency to use excessive force and brutality against minorities. Even more disturbingly, the LAPD made clear its discriminatory attitudes towards black people who died at the hands of police, as evidenced by the police chief's justification for the deaths of black men who had been killed by officers using chokeholds. The chief suggested that black people had inherently abnormal physiology that made them more likely to die in such situations. The 1992 Rodney King riots were a jarring example of the devastating consequences of police brutality. The acquittal of LAPD officers who had beaten King sparked national outrage and led to widespread looting, destruction, and chaos. The riots claimed 53 lives and resulted in billions of dollars in financial losses. Against this backdrop, it becomes clear why O.J. Simpson's acquittal for the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown, was so controversial. Despite a long history of domestic abuse, O.J. received minimal punishment and was seemingly given special treatment due to his status as a celebrity. This case highlights the extent to which race and fame played a role in determining legal outcomes in L.A. Overall, the history of race and policing in L.A. is deeply troubling, with violence and discrimination affecting the lives of countless people of color. This summary sheds light on some of the most disturbing and high-profile cases, and highlights the need for continued efforts to address systemic inequality and injustice in the criminal justice system. O.J. Simpson and the LAPD's mishandling of the case. O.J. Simpson's celebrity status and the LAPD's incompetence played significant roles in the outcome of his murder case. The police failed to follow proper questioning procedures during their initial interview with O.J., treating him with extreme deference despite considerable evidence pointing to him as the murderer. The officer's lackadaisical attitude resulted in a missed opportunity to gather crucial evidence, which became known as the fiasco to prosecutors. Additionally, the existing racial tensions in society and O.J.'s celebrity status became a messy entanglement. Time magazine's controversial cover, which depicted O.J. as a stereotypical black criminal, led to an outcry from civil rights community leaders, who called it a racist misrepresentation. The trial of the century. The O.J. Simpson trial became a civil rights case thanks to his high-priced defense team, led by Johnny Cochran, who successfully spun the case in their favor. Despite overwhelming evidence linking Simpson to the murders, the defense rallied the civil rights community, presenting the trial as an example of a long history of racial abuse by the LAPD. The trial's broadcast allowed the defense to spin a conspiracy theory that an innocent black man was being framed, all in real time, resulting in O.J.'s eventual acquittal. The prosecution's downfall. The authors of The Run of His Life, The People v. O.J. Simpson describe how the prosecution team mishandled the murder trial of O.J. Simpson. Prosecutor Chris Darden's decision to have O.J. try on the infamous glove in front of the court and on live television was a disastrous move as the glove didn't fit O.J.'s hand and gave the defense further ammunition. Defense lawyer Robert Shapiro outshone prosecutor Marcia Clark, who, despite her competence and passion, suffered from an image problem that made her unappealing to the jury and public. Clark put too much faith in the power of the DNA evidence and ignored the games the defense team played to great effect, ultimately resulting in a crushing defeat for the prosecution team. Racial bias in jury selection. The verdict in the O.J. Simpson murder trial was influenced by the jury selection process. The prosecution ignored warnings that African American women tended to support the defendant's innocence, and the final jury was overwhelmingly black and female. The defense team spun the case as a trial based on racial conspiracies, resulting in acquittal. The case highlights America's lingering racial divide and resentments that continue to shape society.
In conclusion, The Run of His Life, The People v. O.J. Simpson, offers a comprehensive and insightful look into the infamous O.J. Simpson trial, exposing its correlation to racial problems in the United States. Toobin highlights crucial evidence, intense legal strategies, and extensive background information to portray a vivid picture of how race, celebrity, and preferential treatment played defining roles in the trial. As you reach the end of this exceptional book, you are left with a profound understanding of the impact that deeply ingrained racial tensions, inept prosecution, and strategic defense manipulation had on the final outcome. The story of O.J. Simpson serves as a stark reminder of America's racial divide and the pitfalls of celebrity obsession, as it continues to shape society.